When I was cleaning our apartment, I found a hidden note from my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend warning me to leave him, and now every red flag I ignored is flashing brighter than ever. It was a Saturday morning. My boyfriend had left early to go to the gym, and I decided to finally do a deep clean of the apartment. We had lived together for almost a year, and there were cabinets and corners I had never touched. I started in the kitchen, pulling everything out, wiping down shelves. In the back of a cabinet we never used, the high one above the refrigerator that required a step stool to reach, I found a folded piece of paper tucked behind an old mug. I thought it was a receipt. I almost threw it away without reading it. It was handwritten on notebook paper. Neat, careful handwriting. Dated 3 years ago. It started with, "If you found this, he didn't." That one sentence stopped me cold. I sat down on the kitchen floor and read the whole thing. She introduced herself by first name only. She said she was leaving him soon and wanted to leave something behind for whoever came next. She wasn't angry. That's what got me. The tone was calm, almost gentle, like she was doing someone a quiet favor. She listed 3 things. He doesn't listen. Not to small things, not to big things, not even when you're standing right in front of him saying something important. He makes everything your fault. Not in a dramatic way, just a slow, consistent way that makes you start to believe it. And the last one, he hasn't cleaned this cabinet in the entire time I've lived here. I know because I put this note here 2 months ago to test it, and it's still here. I read it twice. Then I sat there for a while just holding it. By the time he got home from the gym, I had cleaned the entire apartment. I didn't say anything right away. I made coffee. I waited until we were both sitting down, and then I slid the note across the table. He read it. His face changed in a way I hadn't seen before. He picked it up and ripped it in half before I could say a word. He said she was unstable. Said she had spent their entire relationship trying to manipulate him, and clearly she was still doing it from 3 years away. He said he couldn't believe I was sitting here entertaining this instead of throwing it in the trash where it belonged. I told him I wasn't trying to start a fight. I just wanted to talk about it. He said there was nothing to talk about. That was the conversation. I went for a walk and tried to think clearly, and I realized something had shifted. Not because of what she wrote, but because of how he reacted. He never once said she was wrong. He attacked her character and called it a response. I had watched him do the same thing to me during arguments for months, and somehow I had never seen it that clearly before. That night, after he fell asleep, I looked her up on Instagram. I found her in about 4 minutes. I sent a short message explaining who I was and said I had found the note. I wasn't sure she'd respond. She called me the next morning. We talked for almost 2 hours. She was nothing like what he had described. She wasn't bitter or dramatic or looking for revenge. She was straightforward and a little tired in the way that people get when they've already processed something hard and come out the other side. She said she'd left 3 notes in total in different spots around the apartment. She figured he'd find them eventually while cleaning, and that would be that. Then she laughed quietly and said she'd stopped expecting that after the first year. I asked her why she stayed as long as she did. She said the same thing I would have said 6 months ago. He was wonderful at first. Attentive, thoughtful, the kind of person who remembered small details about you and made you feel seen. She said it shifted so gradually that by the time she noticed, she had already spent 2 years explaining herself to someone who had already decided she was wrong before she opened her mouth. I recognized every single thing she described. The arguments that somehow always circled back to something I had done. The way my feelings would get acknowledged just long enough to be dismissed. The way I had started softening everything I said to avoid setting something off. I thanked her. I told her the note helped me see something I'd been moving around for months. She said she was glad. She asked if I was okay. I said I thought I would be. I went home. I packed a bag. Not everything. Just enough. I left it by the front door. When he came into the kitchen and saw it sitting there, he asked me what I was doing. I told him I finally cleaned the cabinet. He stared at me. He started to say something, then stopped. I picked up my bag, called a friend to come get me, and sat outside on the steps and waited. He never came out to ask me to stay. I don't know if that was the most telling thing about him or the most telling thing about us. Either way, I had my answer.